Hello，大家好，欢迎大家来到读书时间。我们今天继续读《Soft Hearts: A Rett Swinson Mystery》这本书。好，我们现在开始。But Cynthia is adamant she wants to confront him. I'm afraid she will try to do it alone if you don't bring her along with you. He sighed. I don't like it. What if we confronted him in public? Certainly. He'd behave himself then. Darrow thought about it. I can't keep an eye on him and her at the same time, but if you come along and make sure Cynthia doesn't get too overheated, I'm willing to give it a try. We'll question him at the bar. First sign of things getting out of hand, and I'll need you to remove her from the situation. Can you play by those rules? I can. Should we go tonight? Who will stay with your mom while we're gone? I think I can get Doris to stay late just this once. It's driving alone at night she doesn't like, so I will escort her back home to garner myself afterward. You're a prince, I said. I just hope I'm not making the biggest mistake of my career, he said before hanging up. Speaking of biggest mistakes, I was about to pull out of the travel agency parking lot when a car pulled inside me. It was Alan, driving his Porsche, an indulgent purchase, having all indicating a readiness to be generous to or lenient with someone, permissive, easygoing, broad-minded, liberal, tolerant, forgiving. An indulgent purchase he'd made right after our separation last Christmas. We had talked a few times since then, but never for very long. I usually become too angry for words and I would end the conversation. If he wanted to talk, dropping by my house would have been more direct, but Alan was never direct. He must have really been feeling desperate about me coming to the anniversary party if he was going to take advantage of the chance encounter to confront me like this. My mind raced through the options. If I did agree to attend the party, it would be half for my benefit. We had not yet decided how to split up the company's assets in the divorce, and it made sense to bring in some additional business in the meantime. But attending might signal approval of his relationship with Kaylee. That made my stomach turn. On the other hand, skipping the party would hurt the company my daughter would one day inherit, allowing Ellen and Kaylee to drive even more of a wedge, a piece of wood metal golf club with a low angled face. Even more of a wedge between me and Stephanie. See, if your mother really cared about you, she'd help the business, and so on. I'd have to see where the conversation went. We rolled our windows down and spoke from our cars. What's up, Alan? I was just driving through town when I saw your car here. Are you taking a trip soon? That's none of your concern. Then I suddenly remembered I was dressed like my mother, which only made me more irritated to be talking with him. What do you want? Did you get my message about the party on Saturday? I did, and Stephanie called to lobby on your behalf. Thanks for putting her up to that. It wasn't awkward or anything. He let my sarcasm He let my sarcasm blow right by. It would really help if you could be there, Rett. The usual suspects are coming. If they don't see you there, they might not end up for the over 50 project. A stake put up by a player in poker or brag before receiving cards. Not ante up for the over 50 project. Maybe you should have thought of that before you made Kaylee your under 26 project. Rett, this isn't about that. Everything is about that, I said, borrowing a line from my daughter. His face reddened. Make or become red. Redden. His face reddened. This is about the business and about the legacy we will be leaving Stephanie. If you want to dissolve the company. I never said that. Well, that's what's going to happen if you don't take some interest in it. Ellen, I can't do day-to-day business with you anymore. You want me to pretend as though nothing has happened. You might be good at that sort of denial, but I'm not. Alan looked like a caged animal in his little sports car. He'd rather be anywhere than right here arguing. I get it, he said, but will you just come to this party as a favor to Stephanie? After Saturday, we'll come to terms about the business and figure out what your role will be moving forward. Will Kaylee be at the party? I asked, knowing the answer. Of course. She's the lead agent on the project, but you don't have to talk to her. To be honest, she is not eager to talk with you either. I'll bet she isn't. Please, Rett, it's just for an hour or two. This is a new reality. Whether I like it or not, I know. But why does the reality have to be something that you happen to love and I happen to despite despise? Feel contempt or deep repugn. Despise. He squirmed with his bucket seat, wriggled the body from side to side. Just beyond his car, a teenage couple left the Froyo place that sat next to the travel agency. A quick flash of memory placed me with Alan on our college campus. He was walking me to my dorm after a keg party. Small barrel, especially one less than 10 gallons or making sure I was safe. How could I ever move on from this sadness? There was only one way. I'll attend the party, Alan. Happy? By all means, Alan must always be happy. Thank you, Rett. He said, it's going to be a nice one. We went got Peggy Curland to cater it. We'd been struggling to find someone, but she'd heard about it somehow and offered us a great price for old times. Interesting. I wondered what my restaurateur friend was cooking up. See you there, he said, and thanks. I really appreciate it. So will Stephanie. He sped off. Only after his car had left the parking lot did it dawn on me that he hadn't said a word about Wanda or expressed a single concern about my safety in our old neighborhood. In my collegiate memory, I watched Adam from my second floor dorm room window walking away. Prior versions of the Pelican had included an Irish pub and a generic sports bar. This newest iteration had a 1980s theme, a replica of the world that Dennis would have inhabited when he was in graduate school. I wondered if it also felt to Cynthia like going back in time to the worst night of her life. As we entered the bar, I could tell her breathing was already quickening. We waited just inside the doorway while Darrell went to talk with the manager, a man in his late 20s who was barely old enough to remember the Clinton years, much less the Reagan 80s. Darrell returned a moment later. The manager is looking up the timesheets to see if Dennis was working Halloween night. He turned to Cynthia. Our friend is in the back on break. Before we go back there to talk with him, I need to search your purse. I saw an episode of a crime show in which, well, just let me look in your purse, please. Cynthia handed it to him. Don't worry, I've already heard him sufficiently, she said. Darrell finished looking through the purse, handed it back. Okay, let's go. The manager ushered us behind the bar. Sure, a guide somewhere. Usher. Through the kitchen and into a small staff room. Sitting at a table drinking coffee sat a thin man with bad skin, a gray blonde beard, and baggy eyes. The man's doleful expression didn't waver when he briefly met my gaze. Expressing sorrow, warmth. But upon noticing Cynthia, the eyes flashed recognition. The three of us stopped inches from his table. I suppose he could have made a run for it toward the back door, but Dennis Smith seemed like he'd already been sitting there 100 years. I'm Detective Schmidt, Raleigh Police. I guess you can guess why I'm here. Nope, he said. He responded, sounding like a dare.好，谢谢大家，我们今天先读到这里吧，那我们下次再见了，拜拜。